from here, we'll move on to Jimmy. And the question for you is about the mutual aid networks. So when the self-determination of people is being systematically oppressed within systems of extreme violence, mutual aid networks become vital. Can you speak to the current nature of such networks and their ongoing role in Palestine's fight for liberation and self-determination? And can you speak to the barriers to the self-determination, given the structural barriers against Palestinians? Thank you.
Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. May peace be upon you in the mercy and blessing of God. And Zachar Sadiq Lavraha, may the memory of the righteous be for blessing. My name is Jimmy Dunson. I'm with Mutual Aid Disaster Relief and the International Solidarity Movement. Mutual Aid Disaster Relief is a people-powered disaster relief network based on the principles of mutual aid, solidarity, and autonomous direct action. And we work to turn the tide against climate chaos and climate crisis. And Mutual Aid Disaster Relief is more than just a network. It's also a movement and an idea and a tactic. It's how we survive crisis. We take care of each other. I'm also with the International Solidarity Movement. The International Solidarity Movement was founded by Palestinians, Israeli activists, and internationals to support the Palestinian-led nonviolent popular resistance. So it has 4 principles. It's Palestinian-led. We organize collectively through consensus. We have a zero tolerance for oppression. So we are against all forms of ethno-supremacy or one group's superiority and another group's inferiority. And we're also nonviolent. And so I just recently returned from the West Bank. I was there from November to January. And I want to talk about a little bit of my experiences and mutual aid more broadly in Palestine. And so one of the things when I first got to the West Bank, I responded to a call from a little village called Wadi Turan. So it's right nearby a village called Zanuta. And what happened to Zanuta, it's in Masafiyata in the West Bank, and Israeli settlers, violent extremist terrorist Israeli settlers came armed with masks, and they destroyed things, and they threatened the people of Zanuta, if you don't leave, all your men, women, and children will be killed. And the people of Zanuta left. And 14 villages have been disappeared in the last year in the West Bank in this way. And nearby in Wadi Turan, when I was there in the West Bank, people were threatened in the same way. Masked settlers came, threatened. They destroyed vehicles. They threatened everybody to leave, or you will all be killed. And the people of this village, they called their international friends and their Israeli activist friends, and we came. And we were provided protective presence, as much as we could 24/7, so that those threats aren't carried out. And there's people, internationals and Israeli activists doing this in communities all throughout Masafiyata and the Jordan Valley. When we talk about mutual aid, this is mutual aid. Like when we're showing up for each other's survival, that's mutual aid. I have heard there are thousands of open doors all throughout Gaza, for each Palestinian home. They leave their doors open for when, not if, their neighbors' homes are bombed. That's mutual aid. People survive crisis, they survive genocide, they survive ecocide because of mutual aid, because we take care of each other. People survive prison, people survive living on the res, people survive homelessness, because all of us from below, we take care of each other. In Boriken, in Puerto Rico, people teach us, solo el pueblo, salva el pueblo. Only the people save the people. One of the most beautiful things that I saw in Palestine was at Al-Aqsa Mosque. Al-Aqsa in Arabic means the soul. There's so many barriers. Colonialism is another word for barrier. It's a barrier to keep us from being human beings. And we got checkpoints, we got curfews, we got apartheid walls, and And these checkpoints, they don't only ask you for your ID, they ask you for your phone password now, because they want to know what media you're consuming, what news are you watching, and they'll arrest you based on it. And so, Palestinians are denied access to Al-Quds, to the holy. That's what Al-Quds means in Arabic, in Jerusalem, the city of peace. Palestinians are denied access. They need special IDs and special permission. And even if they get through that, there's a siege on Al-Aqsa Mosque. If you get past the first checkpoint, there's 3 more checkpoints. But every Friday, like clockwork, Palestinians get as close as they can to Al-Aqsa Mosque to pray, armed with nothing but their prayer rugs. And every time they hear the call to prayer, they lay down their prayer rugs and they pray. And the Israeli police and the Israeli military respond with tear gas, with beatings, with spraying sewage, with charging their horses into people praying. And people come back week after week, again and again. What Palestinians in Al-Quds, in Jerusalem, in the West Bank, and Gaza are teaching the world is samud. That's an Arabic word. It's translated as steadfastness, perseverance, never giving up, sometimes as resilience, but it transcends those English words. And what we need to face the climate crisis is samud. There's a people who are facing down an army with a prayer. And, like a lot of people, are wondering, was there ever a time, and will there ever be a time when Jewish, Christian, and Muslim people have lived or will live in harmony and peace in the Holy Land? And I just got back, and yes, there has been, and there will be, and there is right now. In Masafer Yatta, when people of all faiths, people of all, nations, are standing up against a colonial army hell-bent on genocide and ethnic cleansing. Jewish people are doing that. Muslim people are doing that. Christian people are doing that. Atheists are doing that. There's a force more powerful than nuclear missiles when we merge spirit with action. Wherever you are, anywhere around the globe, there's something in your blood that remembers how we made empires fall in the past. And we can make empires fall right now. I was in Bethlehem during Christmas this last year, and almost every church had a manger scene of Jesus in the rubble. One of them, the Church of the Nativity, had a scene of Jesus a baby Jesus on an incubator. And there were sermons, too, in all those churches on Christmas Day about that if Jesus was born today, Jesus would be born under the rubble in Gaza. That's where our hope lies, under the rubble in Gaza. And, whatever we see that needs to be done, we can't be, saying, we're powerless. If you can, if you have breath, in your body, then you can do something, and, right now there's a ship ready to leave Istanbul to Gaza, with 5,500 tons of humanitarian aid to break the siege of Gaza and get life-saving food so that these children don't starve, with 1,000 people on it. And trucks are coming in from Rafah too. And with the international solidarity movement, we welcome your participation. Anybody can be involved. There's a training process, but we welcome you to be a part of this, to also face down an army with a prayer.
1 more minute.
Thank you. So at one point in our lives, we will be asked the question that was posed to Cain: where were you when your brother's blood was crying out from the land? You know, it might be today, it might be years from now, but we're going to be asked that question. You know, what Gaza is right now is the Warsaw Ghetto of our time. And we are all damned if we do not become one of the righteous among the nations in this generation. We have to stop a genocide. We have to stop an ecocide. And it takes all of us to do it.
Thank you.